I'm Alnev. My real name's Ari. I'm a singer-songwriter, musician, and I'm based in New York City. I make kind of like alternative singer-songwriter pop. Um, yeah, and I've been doing it for I think 6, 7 years now.
hmm Oh, that's a long time. Can
Yeah,
you tell us a little bit about your new album and like the process behind it, what it was like creating it?
yeah, for sure. Um, this new EP, it's definitely the work I'm proudest of right now. Like it's just like even I listen to it myself and I'm like, damn, like how did I make this? Like I'm really just so proud of it. I made it with a bunch of my friends. I'm totally independent, so the process was really just like I wrote all the songs myself, recorded them in my room with a bunch of my friends or in their bedrooms. Everything that I do, like everything I've done so far has been literally in bedrooms, with whatever equipment we have, doing our best with it. And just like calling in friends to play bass and calling in friends to just like do whatever. Like literally just it's a community effort of me and my friends.
hmm
Um, but yeah, I mean, that was like the process was definitely faster than like the previous project. So my first EP is called Vincent that came out in June of 2024. This one and Everything Else Was Blue. This one took a little like less time because like we just got better at producing over time because like the last one it took us from 2020 to 2024 of like just to get that one out. And this one like we started in probably like 2023. So it's like half the time was cut, which is really great. So like just getting faster and faster.
hmm
But yeah, I made it with my friends and I'm really proud of it. And like my friends were great and it's just awesome. Like all the credits are just my friends.
hmm And can you talk a little bit more about like your songwriting process and maybe the songwriting process on this new album?
Yeah, for sure. Um, in general, it's just like it kind of just happens. It's hard for me to explain like how my songwriting, like I don't think I could like teach songwriting to someone else because for me, it's just always been a part of my life. Like I've always been a writer. If I experience something, I just write about it, whether it's a poem or a song. But with this project, it's actually like a collection of a bunch of songs that I've written over the last couple of years. That's all surround the same topic. It's all like generally about heartbreak, loss, grief, the mixture of grief and relief and like kind of just like all these like let's say like negative feelings or sad feelings, but kind of different representations of them. And it's centered around like, a relationship or multiple relationships, but like it's really up to the listener to see it how they want to. But for me, there's definitely like specific muses or like a particular muse of like that inspired this project. Someone who I
Mhm.
thought was my soulmate, and then turns out they weren't. So a lot of the songs kind of hint at that or connect to that feeling and that experience. Um, yeah, but in general, writing, like I'll be sitting down at a piano or a guitar and just like play some chords and just something will come out of me. And then after I'm like, damn, like what did I just make? And then the song's there. And sometimes I'll be in the shower and just like a melody pops into my head. And sometimes I'll be brushing my teeth and then like words pop into my head. And sometimes like every time it's kind of different. Um,
hmm
but it's hard like to know exactly what my process is because every time it's just like it could be completely random. And sometimes I'll try to write and then I'll just write like the worst thing ever. So it's like usually about once a month, at least once a month, sometimes twice or three times if it's like a awesome month. Like a song that I love will come out of me. So it's like I've built up over the last 7 years of like trying to write songs. I've got like probably 150 or so songs, somewhere in that range. And now at this point, I'm kind of like, okay, which songs belong on which project? And I'm planning future projects and like trying to see. And also, I'm writing new stuff all the like in the meanwhile. So it's like, how am I gonna, you know?
You're like a machine. That's
It's funny.
crazy.
I kind of wish I could like there's some people who write every day and like they can
hmm
write a new song every day and like I never tried it but I feel like I probably could write a song every day but I don't know if I can write a good song every day. Like
I mean, three good ones a month is a good turnout.
yeah, three's great. Like a three's not common and I think in was it October? I think in October I wrote three and that's
hmm
pretty uncommon. Usually it's like one and then like in the last year there were random months where nothing happened and it was like damn like am I losing my abilities but it's just life it's like I was busy and stuff um
Yeah.
but yeah like I've seen my writing progress over time because like if I look through this discography of like all the songs I've written I'm like okay like this was my era where I had to process a bunch of trauma around this, and then this is like now I'm in this more mature, like the music that's coming out now is like a little more focused on the past and like stuff that happened, a couple years ago. And that because things always take time to come out. So by the time they come out, it's like I'm not really necessarily stuck in those feelings like
Right,
necessarily.
right.
And I would say I feel that way about this project for sure. Like my feelings now are not necessarily exactly the same.
Hmm.
But like that's always how things go because it comes out and it's like, oh, I
Yeah,
wrote this like 3 years ago.
yeah. But that's cool to see too.
Yeah, yeah. And also I love the music. It's all like I think
Hmm.
it's great music. I wouldn't put it out if I didn't like believe in it. And also
Hmm.
like the songs are beautiful to sing and connect to. Even my old stuff, like when I sing it, it takes me back to those places and it lets me kind of
Hmm.
express from that experience, which is the best part of being an artist, just like being able to fully express things I've gone through, things I'm experiencing. And like it's sick that I have that ability and also to be able to do that for other people because people listen and they're like, dude, like you're saying what I'm feeling. I'm like, oh, what? That's sick.
Yeah. Can
Marina,
you
I
talk a
I have a
bit?
follow-up real quick
Oh,
to that.
go. Yeah.
In the months where you like you said you have months where you like no songs come out and you feel like you're at a like you're stuck and you're like worried you lost it. How do you get through those like those slow months or those months where you feel like you're having trouble?
So there's a couple things. I'd say like I definitely have the feeling of like, oh my God, am I ever gonna be able to write again? Because that's just like my like I'm a catastrophist, so it's like of like, oh, it's over, right? So there's like that little bit of me that says that. But then there's like also there's a lot of work to do outside of writing new songs because I'm working on so many of my older songs. Like even if I'm not writing new songs, I could be busy with literally like promoting old ones, making content around it, producing new things. So it's like even if I'm not writing new things, also like there's stuff to do. So I'll be busy with like producing and writing and all the other stuff. And not sorry, not writing, producing and like basically doing everything else. But also just like taking in new material. So like I'll listen to a lot of music. Like I'm always listening to albums. Whenever new albums come out, I'm like, I gotta hear as much as I can. And that helps just like fuel the creativity, like add more to the fountain of my creativity, I guess, and also like watch movies and like basically engage a little more in culture in those months. And like sometimes it'll just bring out more. Um, and sometimes I completely forget. I'm like, it's like it'll be near the end of the month. I'm like, damn, I didn't write anything this month. I'm like, I can't believe I didn't write anything. Um, but also like I'll write a poem sometimes. Like poems are way easier. There's no pressure with a poem because a poem's like there's no rules. I can just do whatever I want. So I've got like also I don't know, probably hundreds of poems like on my phone, and I love them too. But like those are not really part of my artist project necessarily. But I do show them
Mhm.
to my friends.
Can you talk a little bit more about your musical inspirations? And this can be just generally, like maybe the music that helps you during those months, or like the music that inspired your most recent project.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So I have my general inspirations, like the stuff that made me make music.
Hmm.
I'd say top five are Panic at the Disco, Frank Sinatra, Julia Michaels, Lauv, and maybe like yeah, Lord actually. Those are probably my top five.
Hmm.
I don't know what the order is necessarily, but definitely top two are Panic and Frank Sinatra. Um, I think like so I'd say like Lord, for example, is someone like I heard Melodrama when I don't know, I was 15 maybe or 14. And I
Hmm.
heard that and I was like, oh my God, I want to make someone feel how I feel listening to this because it's just such a perfect record. And like it literally like my brain chemistry changed. And I'm like just like a teenager. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And like it blew my mind. And like Panic at the Disco, like there when I was like going through my music discovery. I mean, I'll tell you some more about it because it'll give some more context. But
Hmm.
basically, like I grew up like ultra Orthodox, very religious Jewish. So it's like
Hmm.
we didn't have secular culture really in the house. I was like sneaking it from well, I don't know, age like 11 or so. Like I was sneaking everything that was secular. So like I didn't have any knowledge of music and stuff like that. So anyway, from ages like 11/12 until 15, I was listening to like whatever pop music I could sneak and like that's what I was up to. And then like after that, when I went away from home and went to this like school for basically like Jewish kids who didn't necessarily want to be rabbis, who wanted to like do their own thing. That's when I was like discovering much more. That's where I started writing songs. It's where like my artist journey really started because I was like finally free to like figure out what I wanted.
Hmm.
Um, so at that time, I was like, I want to listen to as much music as possible. So I ended up hearing like all the Panic at the Disco records. And I was like, they were just like perfect to me. And like I knew two of the songs from like Death of a Bachelor beforehand, but everything else
Hmm.
I had never heard. So I was like going through and I was like, this is and still till today, it's some of my favorite music ever. I know like everything by heart. I'm a crazy like I know all the band history. Like I'm a little crazy around like Panic stuff and like the history of the band.
Hmm.
Um, but like Panic at the Disco is a huge influence for me musically. Definitely Sinatra. Like also I discovered him when I was 15 as well, and just like his voice, I just felt really connected to his voice and like the way he sang, and like there's just a purity to it and just beautiful. Like if I'm having a bad day, put on
Hmm.
some Sinatra and I'm good. Like I'm literally like if you ever catch me in a bad mood, just throw some Sinatra on. I'm like, oh okay, I'm fine.
Hmm.
Um,
Life
and
is
then like
okay.
life is okay, yeah. And then like Lauv, like I'd say Lau for sure had some inspiration when it came to this record. His project, I think it's called I Met You When I Was 18. I think that project, his first album basically, um, just like also blew me away when I was a teenager. And like that, it just like, that inspiration will always be there for me. Just unbelievable, like futuristic production that's like just
Hmm.
clean and beautiful and poppy, but written really well. Like, I don't know, there's just like I think Lauv and Lord would probably have the most um impact and influence when it comes to this particular project. I think it's really much more of my pop influence that comes through on this project. Like you're getting less of the Panic, less of the Sinatra, and more of like the Lord and the Lauv and Louis Capaldi and maybe some Billie Eilish, like some of those people, Conan Gray,
Hmm.
So yeah, I would say for this project, there weren't necessarily like I wasn't writing it. Definitely when I was writing it, I wasn't like, I want this to sound like anyone. And when I was producing it, I also like, I don't really usually do that. It's very, most of the time, I'm like, okay, like I wrote this song. How do we translate it through production to fit the song and like fit my brain? And like sometimes
Hmm.
it'll sound like connected to something else. Like I've heard that like some people were like, oh yeah, I get some Gracie Abrams from this. And I love Gracie. Like I'm an OG Gracie fan, like 2019. Um, yeah, that's my trophy. Like no one can take that trophy from me. So yeah, like I've heard like there's some like, oh, like that makes you think of Gracie. I'm like, yeah, that's sick. Like she's awesome.
Hmm.
But yeah, overall, like I'm usually like trying to figure out how to make the sound work for me rather than like, okay, like how do we emulate this specific song? It's
Hmm.
uncommon. It happens sometimes where it's like, okay, like yeah, this song feels fine, but like how do we make it sound more like that song because it's not hitting hard enough? So usually for mix notes, it's more helpful. But in general, with writing and with production, it's less common that like I'll be like, how do I emulate this other artist? But it kind of just
Yeah.
comes through.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And I like that you have specific artists that you can turn to in those moments. I feel like I don't have as clear of a list, which is
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah,
Can
no, thank you. Yeah, I've like people have asked me this before, so I've had to
Mhm.
actually think on it. I'm like, okay, like what are the like if I really think about it and I, take it down. I'm also a bit of I'm like a list maker. I'm one of those people.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you'll find a list for anything. And like that's a list that I know. And there's more artists, but like those are my top five probably.
Those are your top
Yeah,
five. That's awesome.
thanks.
And then just going back to you, your single Van Gogh went viral, and crossed 600K streams. And we really wanted to know what it was like or what it's like being an artist in the age of social media, and also what it's like being an artist kind of chasing virality.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like so I wrote that song in 2020, like during the COVID lockdowns. I
Hmm.
wrote it. After I wrote it, I immediately knew I was like, this is one of the best things I've ever written. I was freaking out. I posted on my story. I was like, I literally just wrote the best song. And like
Hmm.
no one even knew. I just like knew that it was so good. And then I played it on live a bunch of times because I was going live during COVID because it's just like how I was keeping myself like alive, basically, just like connecting with my like fans through the internet. Um, and people loved it and it kind of just became like this underground unreleased song of mine that like everyone knew, and like if I played it at a show everyone would sing along to it because people just knew
Hmm.
it, but like it still wasn't released. It finally came out in like 2022, And then it did like well, but it wasn't like nothing was going crazy. It wasn't like breaking any records. Like, there was nothing going crazy about it. I
Hmm.
always believed in it. And once it came out, I was like, okay, like I guess this is like the life it'll take. Like you never know what life a song will like what will happen to a song once it's out. Like sometimes it goes crazy, sometimes it, isn't as much as you thought it would be. So like it came out and I was like, okay, great, like, song, it's doing its thing. And then like over a year later, yeah, I think it was over a year later, this kid, his name's Prazul, great
Hmm.
guy. And he basically like he had this thing where he was like being like, okay, artists who make fire music but don't have great marketing, and he was doing like these like making fun videos of like all these artists, and they were doing pretty well. Like he was getting like a bunch of views on everything, and for some reason, he like posted my song Van Gogh, and then it
Hmm.
just like it popped off. It got like 250,000 views, which is definitely like I don't know, like I thought that was sick. It got a ton of new people sent in my direction. Streams went up. Once the streams were going up, the algorithm on Spotify was like, "Oh, this is a popular song. Let's push it more." So then it got pushed more to more people, and then like it kind of had that take off. And even till today, I would definitely give a lot of like credit to Prazul in that video for the fact that it popped off. So it's interesting, like I love the song and I believed in the song, but it's interesting that like it takes someone, you know, like getting it into a viral space for it to have attention. So it definitely is, it's both beautiful but also kind of like scary because it's like, okay, like do I need all my videos? I mean, do I need all my songs to have a viral video to prove that they're like worth it? Or like is it worth it and I just need to keep pushing? Like it's hard to really know like which song, maybe if we used a different song, it wouldn't have done well at all, so it's hard to really know. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I would say I used to think about virality, but now I don't because it's just really draining to chase it. Because like the problem is when you're chasing goals like that, every time you put out a video that doesn't succeed, you just get more and more demotivated. At least I get more and more like demotivated. And like
Hmm.
I've never been a content kind of person. I love making music, I love making my art. Content and video like production is not really my big thing. Like I can do it, but like I
Hmm.
really don't have so much passion toward it. So therefore, it's like if I put so much weight on making content that it needs to go viral, when it doesn't, and most things don't, it's like, damn, like was it worth all that effort? And just like you don't see the results. So
Right.
now I've actually been in more of a when it comes to content, my relationship has changed a little bit. I would say with TikTok, I've gotten to a pretty cool situation where I've like noticed that all the artists that I see are growing, like friends of mine who are growing,
Hmm.
they're just posting consistently every day. And it doesn't have to be high quality, like amazing content. They're just posting something that's even slightly eye-catching every single day, some text on the screen, something stupid. And it's like the dumbest thing, but it kind of does work in the sense that there's like this slow build. So I've been posting like every day on TikTok for probably 4 months, if not more.
Hmm.
And like I just see there's a couple new comments every day, and like my numbers, if I look at my numbers, they're steadily going up. Like
Hmm.
there's kind of that like rise, rise fall. Like it's like there's a whole like system around it. So for me, because there's no like stakes there, it's easy for me to be like, oh, fine. Like if it doesn't pop off, I don't expect it to. So it's like it's easy for me to just like post every single day, even multiple times a day. So
Yeah.
my relationship with content is kind of always changing. Like I got to figure out my Instagram game. I think my Instagram game is a little rough because it's just like all my friends follow me and like I've always heard the same thing from everyone. It's like you don't want to post too much and annoy people, but also like Instagram is my like it's my resume in a sense. It's like when people look at me, like that's what they're looking at. So it's like I want my feed to look amazing. So to put like slop on my feed, I feel like a little scared of, but also like there's got to be a way for me to figure out like that relationship and make it work because I need to do more there. I know like there's a lot to gain from reels, but I don't post enough, and I'm just like I'm very like particular about it and precious, so I
Hmm.
gotta kill the preciousness, I think. But that's my take right
Yes.
now. Talk to me in a year and see how I feel because it changes every year. Like I'm trying to figure out the relationship with it. I will also add, I'm really ranting, I'm sorry, but like I will add like as much as there is to complain about TikTok and like the algorithm and oversaturation, all that stuff, there's a lot to
Mhm.
complain about. But also, I'm very grateful that we live in a time where like people who would never have had the opportunity to be seen are being seen through these platforms. So it's like, as much as I have to complain about them and how they're annoying and how it's like not my favorite thing to be a content creator, I still think it's
Mhm.
amazing that we're in a time where like the record label is way less relevant, and your
Hmm.
own power as an artist is probably the highest it's ever been, because you could build an audience completely yourself without a label, and like have a successful business if you post and like if you do well with the algorithms and all that stuff. So I'm grateful
Hmm.
for it, even though it's difficult. So I'm trying to figure out, like it's easy to be a hater on these things, and I'm like a little bit of a hater, but there's also like there's something to be grateful.
Yeah, there's yeah, benefits and drawbacks for sure. And I'm
Mhm,
sure it's kind of interesting to strike that balance between like marketing yourself and like spending time on the art itself. So,
for sure.
yeah. Can we talk a little bit about how maybe Brooklyn or just New York in general, how that scene has affected your music or even your perspective on the industry in general?
Yeah. Um, okay, so like New York City, greatest city on earth. I love it so much. I love that I live here. I think it's crazy. There's like a gajillion people who would die to be here. Like it's just literally I was driving. I don't have a car. I was like borrowing my friend's car because I had rehearsals for a show.
Hmm.
Long story, doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm like driving through the city. I'm like driving back on the bridge between Manhattan and Brooklyn, and I just like turned. Don't do this while you're driving, but I turned and like saw the city, and every time I see the city and it was night and it's just like the lights, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I live here. It's just
Hmm.
crazy. Like I'm just so grateful to live here. So that's number one. I would say in terms of like artistry and like myself as a creative, I'm an extrovert. I love people. I love meeting people. I love going around. I love like the fact that the subway's always running. Like I love just like the constant movement. That's what makes like life exciting to me, is meeting people and having like movement, and just like interactions, and like I like to live. I don't really want to like sit around necessarily and like read books as much. Although I will read books. Like I'm trying to read more, but also like I want to live. I want to live. I want to go out. I want to meet people.
Hmm.
So I think as a creative, it definitely it's invigorating. It energizes me. Like there's something about this city, and it's like, there's just so many people. There's so much to do. So I think in that sense, I have a lot of, I don't know if it's material necessarily, because I'm not generally writing about things that happen to me, but I think the more life you're living and the more like there are things happening, it just like builds up your creative experience, because it's just more, again, it's kind of like that fountain that I pull from. Like there's just so much, and if there's movement happening, if there's like flow in my life, it will affect other areas of my life. So
Hmm.
I'd say that's the biggest thing for me. In terms of industry wise, I'd say the industry is actually not as prevalent here in New York as it is in places like LA or Nashville. Like I go to LA every couple of months for
Hmm.
sessions and meeting people, and like I've been to Nashville twice. I'm trying to go more. I love Nashville. And it's like there it's
Hmm.
very clear the creative music scene is like popping. There's so much happening, and like the industry is like you're standing door to door with the industry. Like anytime I'm there, like you always meet someone who's connected to the industry. In New York, there's so many hustlers, but they're all different kinds of hustlers. So, you're on a train, the chances are you're not on a train with a bunch of music industry people. If you're in Nashville, if you walk into a room, you're definitely around someone who's either a songwriter, a musician. There's always something there. So I think in New
Hmm.
York, it's a little less like you're not really getting in touch as much with the industry. I wouldn't say like I'm in industry buildings, like you would be in LA or Nashville. Um, but
Hmm.
but yeah, there's still like there's a lot here. There's still a lot of music, and like I love going to concerts. So like there's always a show in New York. It's nice to just know like I never have to worry about a tour not coming to me. I'm always getting to see a show.
Hmm.
Um, but but yeah, I don't know. That's my response on that.
Yeah. And can you just maybe talk about um, this is kind of shifting gears again.
Mhm.
What like well, it's kind of related because New York has so much art, but maybe just the non-musical influences then if there are other like hustling industries, maybe the
Mm.
non-musical influences that shape your creative process.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say I've gotten much more like into the arts in general, like as much as
Hmm.
I can. I love artistic experiences. So like, seeing paintings, I used to like not get it. And then like I think it clicked one day and I was like, whoa, like someone put a gajillion hours into this painting and made this. A human made it, and it's like when you see that, it's like, damn. So I went to like where did I go? I went to which museum was it? Um, the Met. I went to the Met, and I just was like blown away by the paintings. I was like, can I take these home? But like I couldn't because they're $1 million. Um, but yeah, I mean, like art like that is just beautiful and inspiring, and it just like just shows the power of human art. Like it literally makes you feel things by looking at a painting. It's just crazy. Um, Books as well. Different books that I've read. I'm not sure like exactly how it translates it into my writing, but like I don't know, just like reading books in general, like I think it adds more to like the fountain, like I said, and there's just like more to draw from as well.
Hmm.
Um, Movies, just like watching films, as I'd like to call them sometimes when I'm feeling fancy. Um, yeah, letterbox user here as well. I'm
Hmm.
very, I take my movie watching seriously and everything is rated. But yeah, I think just like engaging in the arts, also cooking. Like I don't cook so much. I really want to get better at it, but I have friends who are amazing cooks, and I don't know if it connects to my songwriting, but I'm sure they'd feel really good if I told them that. So like maybe I'll just start telling them that.
Hmm.
But like friends being amazing cooks, that's another big thing. Just like eating good food.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, dancing. I love dancing. Like, I love going out. And like, I don't drink alcohol personally. I don't know, never like. I just like being sober in general. I'm straight edge, people say, but like I don't know. I prefer to live life fully present in general. So, I love dancing, going out, meeting people, deep conversation. I'm kind of like I'm just a human. I don't know. I'm like a dude. I'm just a dude who likes living, and also writes really sad songs. Like that's, you know.
That's what it's giving. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
then could you just talk about maybe shifting back to music? Um, what three artists you think should get more attention? Like give a shout out.
Okay.
Or it can be
I'm
more
gonna
than three. It can be
okay. I'm gonna let me think this through because I know there's so many. Okay, so one of my things, I'm like an A&R. Like I'm not kidding. I find artists before they pop off, and I'm like, I know this dude's gonna pop off. Like I have my list of people. Whenever I meet industry people, I'm like, hey, like I don't work for you, but here's who you should look at. And like I have a pretty good rate of like knowing when people are gonna pop off. But
Hmm.
um I'll probably like talk about specific people who I either know personally. I'll start with people I know personally. There's this kid from Michigan named Intentions. He makes like hyper pop. It's sort of like it's basically hyper pop, but it's some of the best hyperpop I've ever heard in my life. It's unbelievable. He produces himself. He's extremely talented. He's still not huge. He's been popping off more like in the last couple of months, but like found him I think a year ago or so. I don't know, like somewhere around that time, and I was blown away by one of his songs and just like he's just so good. He's unbelievably talented. I think he has a great future ahead of him.
Hmm.
And if he does, and not if, when he succeeds, you know that I just said that. So like
Yeah.
definitely look him up. Intentions. His Instagram is like Intentions Michigan.
Hmm.
He's phenomenal, especially if you like hyperpop, if you like that kind of sound. Um, Other people that I really believe in. Um, Let me think. Okay, well, I mean, then there's like people that like are popping off that like we know, I guess. I'm not sure if you know, but at least like people who I think people know because like your TikTok feed is specific, so you think everyone has the same feed as you. Anyway,
Yes.
so there's like a couple of like TikTok artists who I think are amazing, who are like deserve all the attention they're getting. There's Eli, if you've heard of Eli, like she's amazing. Definitely look her up if you haven't. She just put out her album. Um, think it's called like Stage Girl, something like that. I don't know. It's phenomenal, amazing music. Um, Annabelle Dinda, like she's killing it on TikTok. She has that song "The Hand." Every time a guy writes a song, that she's an
Yeah.
amazing writer. She's popping off. Um, I'm thinking who else? Oh, there's this dude. I'm telling you, I'm at the forefront of this. Like people just don't know. There's this kid named Dog Gone, but like one word. He's kind of like in the McGee field, the McGee clone. Some would even say he's a McGee clone, but he's good at it. Like he's really good at it, and I think that there's like something to say for that. I would listen to his song William, definitely worth listening to. He's phenomenal.
Mhm.
I think he's going to do really well. I'm just watching his followers just like go up very little every day, and I know it's going to
Mhm.
go somewhere. Um, and then who else? I mean, I have a friend in LA, Ari, Ary. My name's Ari as well, but with an I. He's a great friend of
Mhm.
mine. He's an unbelievable, he's got the most amazing voice. He's got star power. He's like literally like my Justin Bieber in my life. He's the best. Um, and he's a good friend, and I think like he only has like one song out. No, he has two songs out, but like he's putting out more, and he's phenomenally talented. Ary, definitely worth checking out as well.
Mhm.
And then like I have other friends in my community, like my friend Yosef David, he's unbelievable. We have a song out together. He's just so talented, and if you like any sort of folk pop, like he's just a beautiful person and an amazing writer and a beautiful vocalist. So it's like I have a pretty wide community of like the people in my life who I believe in. And I'm always trying to like make connects between different people I believe in. Like I just like I don't know. I'm like an A&R. I should work for a label, honestly. I'm just like I know this person and this person would make sense. Like you be friends and you be friends.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's a lot more names, but like I'll stop there because I think I said a good amount.
Yeah. You're like scouting.
I'm a scout.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one more question for you. Um, what is one of your songs that your listeners should start with?
Okay. I would say if you love pop music,
Mhm.
like if you really love pop music, if you love some fun, if you want a good time, The Writer for sure. I think even if you like just like want to appreciate some good songwriting and like great production, The Writer is definitely a great place to start.
Mhm.
It's the first song on the EP and it's exactly where it's supposed to be. It totally makes sense. Um, I would say if you're more like an indie sad boy or a sad girl, do people say sad girl? I don't know. But like if you're in like that indie sphere, I would probably say At Least We Didn't Try, another song on the record. And that's just like it's my favorite as of right now. Like it changes all the time, but I think that
Mhm.
that one is just like it's really tasteful. It's written really well. It's pretty sad, and it's like I don't know. I just there's something really special about that song to me. Um, and then like I'd say if you want to hear like an unbelievably written song, I would say the production can like it can always use work because it's an older song of mine. But Van Gogh, the one that's like gone viral, like that one, I think that there's something really special about it. Definitely as a piece of work. It's a beautiful, to me, it's like an art piece. It's like there's something particularly special about it. Um, it's like a painting, and I have the painting on my wall right there, like of the album art actually. That was made
Mhm.
by a person. It's just like I have that. It's a real. That's the actual album art. Um, but but yeah, I would say those are like the three, depending on what you're leaning toward to start with. But definitely like this new project, the entire thing is worth listening to. I think it's all amazing music. And when you realize it was done by an independent artist in a bedroom with his friends, like, and you listen to it thinking about that, it's like, oh damn, like there's something different about it because it's like it wasn't made in a insane studio. Like we literally made it with my equipment right here, literally.
Mhm. That's awesome. Thank you so much for making the time to answer these questions.
Of course. First of all, they're great questions, and also thanks for speaking with me. Like to me, my mission and like what I'm doing, I want to literally make as many people as possible feel less alone, feel more seen with what they're going through, and like have
Mhm.
something to connect to. So to me, any way to send that message out and get that to more people is, it helps a lot. So
Mhm.
by doing this, you're literally a part of the process of getting a message out that will help more people and make people feel less alone and feel more seen. So I appreciate you very much for being a part of it. Like it's just like it's my honor to be like able to speak about what I'm doing and have more people hear about it.
That's awesome. Thank you again. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.